Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. We are going to be asking Spirit for a message, for some guidance today. We have 3 stones here. I have a sodalite, and I have some honey calcite. Honey amber calcite. And also a cluster of apophyllite points. And those are our 3 crystals. And what I'd like to do is go ahead and we're going to take an oracle card also. So, let's get a card, Spirit, for pile 1. Let me get a card for pile 1, Spirit. And a card for pile 2. We get an oracle card for pile 2. And one for pile 3. Actually, that one right away. All right. Let's go ahead and turn them over. Let's see what we have here. So for pile 1, we have butterfly and transformation. The patterns are really jumping out to me. The patterns and her outstretched arm. All right, so that would be pile 1. For pile 2, we have rainbow and forgiveness. Rainbow forgiveness. And look how the purples are pulling from the basil flowers that I have right there. Really standing out to me. Rainbow forgiveness. All right, and for pile 3, we have ocean source. And that's interesting because apophyllite I consider to be water, associated with water. And I was thinking earlier about how part of this reading was likely going to be about flow, and some of this will be about healing. I think a lot of this will be about healing. For some of us, we don't know exactly what it is that needs to be healed. Sometimes it's buried deep down inside, or we do know, and it's just hard to find the first steps, or hard to put it into action, right? So I don't know, I've also staggered these today. I'm curious as to how this is going to unfold. So go ahead and pick your pile, and you'll see your pile in the timestamp below. So take your time. If you feel drawn to more than one, by all means, go to the one that called to you first, and then follow it with the others. And I will see you at your reading. All right, pile 1. Those of you who picked pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we have here the sodalite stone. It's not a shiny tumbles. It is tumbled, but it's not super shiny. I kind of like it. It has that really deep matte blue to it, doesn't it? And the card of butterfly transformation. And with the blues and the yellows, just right off the bat, I'm feeling like this has to do, I know this sounds cliche, but it sounds like having to do with speaking your truth, of knowing what it is that you believe, your belief, your integrity, speaking your truth. But let's see what other cards are here and what else Spirit has to say. So I have tea leaf. I'm just going to see how these play out in this reading today. I kind of feel like this was the outlier, so I kind of want to start with it today. Spirit, it's the message for pile 1 today. We'll get the oracle cards out first. And I apologize for the noise. I'm pretty sure you can hear it. There's some people doing yard work outside in the neighbor's yard. So, pile 1. So, you know, kind of it might have something to do with the message, as in not being able to get your voice above the din, above everyone else, being heard. I think being heard is part of the message here. What do you need to be heard? What do you need to do in order to heal that part of you that wants to be heard? Yeah, it really does feel like a healing reading today. I might pull out the sound bowl at some point also. Let's see. All right, I think that is our card here. We'll get one more oracle. For pile 1 today, Spirit, what do we have? Okay, and now for our tarot cards. It's message for pile 1 today, Spirit. Message for pile 1. We'll get a message for pile 1 today, Spirit. We'll get a message for pile 1. Message for pile 1 today, Spirit. And lastly, two cards for pile 1. All right, so let's start with our oracles. And the tea leaf will be last. I think that one also. Let's start here. So we have Raven, Wise Woman. A change is coming. This one here, we have Signal. The Southern Cross, Signal. Again, I feel communication. Communication, birds bring messages. But with the moon out, it's almost as if it's almost as if you're not getting like the full message. I think I've talked about this previously in other readings where it's illuminated, but you don't see all the details. You know that the message is there, but you know that what needs to be said is there, but you can't maybe put it into words, or you don't have all the details. You don't know how to put it into words. That's kind of what I'm feeling. We have Rhodiola with Wisdom. And Expectation, Maxilla and Temporal, which is right in there. Alright, and we're going to save these two for last. And then for our tarot cards. Right, before I get started with that, I really just want to get a little bit more out of the oracle. So we've got Wisdom. I think that you have a lot of wisdom within you. You have a lot of wisdom to share. But it's getting stuck between your internal self, your thoughts, how you feel, and then being able to express it out into the world. And I understand that very well. If you've been following the channel, you know that I started doing these readings to practice getting the message from within me to the outside world without writing, because that was my way of expressing it, was through writing. I couldn't quite speak it. Like I would stumble. I still do. I stumble on my words. But it sometimes, in order to find that confidence to get going, to get moving, to speak your truth, to speak your wisdom, to share your wisdom, you just have to go for it. You kind of just have to release all the expectations that you might have of how it's going to go, because it's not going to go the way you think at first. But sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised, and what you at the end of it, even if it didn't go the way that you planned, you'll be surprised at how the message came out. Every single reading for me, every single reading. But that's what I'm getting from these oracles to start. And then let's see what our tarot cards say. We have the Page of Wands. Throwing our cares to the wind. Getting moving, just doing it, right? The Hermit. And taking all of this that's within, and bringing it outward. And we have, again, the Hermit. Yeah. I think that a lot of that wisdom, a lot of that knowledge that you have to share, the talents that you have to share with the world, the skills that you have, the gifts that you've been given from Spirit are within you and not really being expressed fully. Likely because of this break in the flow. We have the Three of Pentacles. This is like just working with others, collaborating with others, right? Getting support and being able to do this. We have the Four of Wands, a good foundation. And also the Moon. Again, the Moon is coming out, right? Where it's there, it's within you. Right? It's this knowledge, this wisdom that you have is illuminated within you, and now we need to get it out. We need to get it out into the world, and that's the work of this pile, I think. And so, tea leaf last. I keep hearing tea leaf last. So we have the Sun here, right? So if we're moving from the Moon to the Sun, right? The internal to the external expression. I'm feeling that there's an underlying cause for why it's more difficult for you than others, perhaps, to be able to speak your truth, for your voice to be heard. And I do feel like that is probably some karma or shadow play here, where something happened in the past that maybe you did speak up and you were laughed at, or you're made fun of, or you're told that that's not that's not true, or that's dumb, right? And it's not, right? And when you're speaking up and you're speaking what you feel, as long as it's coming from a place of integrity, it's coming from your heart, from who you are, and it's being spoken through that channel, through that flow. It's not dumb, it's not stupid, it's your truth, and it needs to be heard. I feel that everyone's truth needs to be heard. If you start expressing yourself, from your heart, if you start expressing yourself with integrity, that not only helps you build the courage to continue speaking up, I think it really helps to bolster others to do the same. You show those around you that they don't need to be afraid of also doing that, of also speaking with integrity, of having that courage to do so, to get that message across. Yeah, and let's see what this final card is. Hello, tea leaf. What do you have for us? Horseshoe, good luck. I think that whatever this block is, that's occurring. That's probably occurring for those of you in this pile where you're not able to get across what you want to share. But you know you should be sharing also. I think for some of you, you have a lot of wisdom to share with the world, and it's not getting out. It's not getting past. It's not, your mouth is not opening to speak those words, right? And I think that particular block is also blocking other things in your life, perhaps prosperity, perhaps the flow of abundance coming to you. And this is a transformation that needs to occur in order for you to get things flowing again, to get the things that, if you're trying to manifest things out in the world, and you're wondering why it's not working, I think this has something to do with it. I think it has to do with not speaking it out loud. That's what I'm hearing. Speak it out loud. I think there's a lot of internal messaging and thinking about what you would say to someone, or what you would say to this group, or what you would say to the world, but it's staying there. That's where the boundary is. That's where the limit is. That's where the block is. And that goes for manifesting things also. You're trying to manifest things, but you're not actually speaking it out loud. Words have a lot of power. Words have a lot of power. Some of you in this pile, I think, are wondering, oh no, I got my voice. I let people know what I think all the time. But what's missing there is the integrity, and it's choosing words wisely. And that might be the message for some of you, not all of you. I think there's a big group of people here who are experiencing perhaps a fear of saying what they feel, what they believe, speaking that out loud. I think many of you are comfortable with it, within yourself, that you're very it's not like a question of do I really know, or of not being confident in knowing. It's more not being confident in doing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But this is creating that block. I think some of you are wondering, well, how did I get in this pile? I really just wanted to know, why aren't things going my way? This is one of the reasons why. There's that block there that's keeping it from flowing. That's keeping it from flowing. It needs to get out into the world, and it needs to be spoken. Does that make sense? All right. So that is what I have for you today, pile 1. But I would like to, let's go ahead, let's pull a few more cards, because how can we get started? How can we get started speaking this message? How can we get started speaking our integrity, speaking with integrity, speaking our truth? And I'm going to go ahead and pull another one of these. I feel this might be it. Let's see. What do you have for pile 1? So Ascension, awaken to your soul's potential. And then I want to call your attention again to the colors. The color. And this is your, I see this as solar plexus, right? This is your power. This color, the color of expressing your power out into the world, expressing your voice out into the world. We have the sun, and maybe it's not right the same color, but if you think of this, you think of sun. You think of the sun, right? Think of the sun. The sun. So, speaking your truth. Learning to speak your truth. Learning to share the wisdom that you have in a manner that people will hear and understand and comprehend it. And then also, let's go ahead and pull from the Gold Tarot, since we're talking colors here. And yes, coming from perhaps this feeling of not being able to do it, or what's driving it is this feeling of, well, I can't. But the thing is, you can. You most definitely can. You just have to start. You just have to start. And practice. I mean, you could do what I'm doing. I just decided I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm going to share this with the world. I'm going to just throw myself right on in there and give it a shot. And, you know, it has, so I've been doing this, what, about a month now? And it has definitely opened up that channel, created more of a flow. If you watch my first video, you know, I was like, oh my gosh. But I promised myself I was going to put it up. I was going to put it online. That's kind of the deal I made with myself. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And this is going to be a great learning experience for me. But it has been. It definitely has been. So that's one way of practicing speaking, right? Of getting it out, of speaking to the public. And, you know, I guess part of the safety net is I can always be like, well, if it's really terrible, I'm not going to do it. But I took that out, you know, that I did not caveat my this project, this YouTube project with that. I said, if I was going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to put it up in all its glory or not glory, you know. But the point is to get started, to try, and that's going to get things flowing again for you. It's going to help with the transformation to open more doors to you, more opportunity to you. It's going to even change the way that you feel in the world. It's going to change how confidently you walk in the world. It's going to change how you interact with others. There's less expectation in interactions and more of just letting be. You're going to speak what you're going to speak. You're going to speak your truth. It's, as long as it's spoken with integrity. That's who you are. And it's quite a freeing feeling. And with that freeing comes the flow. It's a good place to come from. It's a good foundation to interact with the world from. It's a good place to shine from when you're speaking what is true for you, when you're speaking with integrity, and speaking also with, forget compassion, because that's a big part of wisdom, right? And then the luck will flow. All right, Pile 1, thank you so much for joining me today. I enjoy this time together with you. I appreciate all of the support that you've been giving me in the comments. I know I can't respond to all of them all the time. I try and get on there and respond at least once or twice a week. But I do just know I really truly appreciate that you're here and you're supporting me. It means a lot. So if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Leave a like if you want. Leave a comment if you'd like. It lets me know that I am being heard, and it lets me know that you enjoy spending this time here. Maybe you're enjoying it, maybe you're not. But for those of you who have been saying that they enjoy it, I truly, truly appreciate it. It means a lot. Alrighty, my Pile 1 friends, I shall see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with the honey amber calcite, and the card, the rainbow forgiveness, And what was interesting when I first, I cleared the space from the previous reading, and then I laid these down, and as I laid it down, the crystal was in this position, and it reminded me of the butterfly wing in pile 1. If you remember from the intro, was butterfly and transformation, and the wing was off to the side, right? And I feel like there might be a connection for some of you with pile 1, but for most of you not. I feel like there is some, it says forgiveness here. I almost feel like you're feeling it out. It's not so much forgiving others, but I feel like there's forgiving yourself for something, forgiving yourself for something that's keeping you stuck in a cycle. But let's get more cards and let's see what else we have. Let's see. All right, so let's start with, I'll get a tea leaf. Could we get some cards for pile 2? I think we need 2 of those. Get a cards for pile 2. And we're starting with the oracles. A message for pile 2. Spirit. Get a message for pile 2. What does pile 2 need to hear today? Alright, Spirit, what does pile 2 need to hear today? What does pile 2 need to hear today, Spirit? Okay, and now some tarot cards. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to those. A lot of jumpers today. Even when I was clearing and reshuffling in between the readings, I had like cards just flying everywhere. There has been a lot of feels like there's been like a lot of superfluous energy around. Like I did a lot of clearing before I even started today. Message for pile 2, Spirit. And I think it has to do with the moon. I think with the moon coming in, I believe is it in Gemini? It's a full moon in Gemini. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it felt like a lot of like Gemini energy, just like a lot of thinking, a lot of indecisiveness, a lot of go, go, go. And, you know, it might just be the energy of the collective that, you know, we just had American Thanksgiving here, and there's, you know, the sales yesterday and right today, Saturday. So that might be some of it, but it also might be somehow tied to this reading. So let's see. I think I pulled a few more cards than the last one. We'll make it all fit. I always do. All right, so let's start with the oracles. We have, again, Raven, Wise Woman. This came out in pile. This was the card that came out in pile 1. So yes, maybe there is that connection between the two piles. And maybe the wisdom that you have to share with others is how to forgive. Maybe the forgiveness for this pile needs to be spoken. Okay, let's see. This one next. We have courage. Yes, that's very much in keeping with what I'm feeling so far. Having the courage to do so, having the courage to speak up. Maybe having the courage to ask for forgiveness, or to say that I forgive you. We also have Elder, wisdom. Again, a lot of wisdom to this pile and the last pile. I also feel for some of you, you know, we just had all of these family gatherings. I feel as if for some of you, there is a need for reconciliation with with a family member, an older family member perhaps, a child perhaps. And that takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to be that vulnerable with someone else, especially, you know, family members. A lot of times as we get older, it becomes harder and harder to break out of that, break out of the role that you play within your family, right? Does that make sense to you guys? And I think that some of this, part of this message for some of you, it's bringing this to your attention. I think you've already recognized it and already thought about it, and this isn't news to you. But that the reconciliation allows you to mend the relationship, because you know that person has so much more to share with you, and you have so much more to share with them. That could be like vice versa. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Flexibility, the cervical spine. So flexibility, not being stuck in your ways, so stuck in your ways that you're unable to create the change that's needed to mend the fences that need to be mended. I'm going to go ahead and turn these over now. We have lobster, financial pinch. We have spear, heartache over what you no longer have. This might be related to inheritance for some of you. And book in reverse. Notice the book also has rainbows in it. Rainbows. I know the courage card, also the colors. And the book to me also speaks of wisdom, right? We've got this wise woman, this wisdom. I think for some of you, you're worried that time may be running out with the person that you want to mend fences with, that you want to work on this forgiveness with. I think there's also this fear that if you approach them that they're gonna take it the wrong way, that they're gonna, you know, think you're only there for maybe another reason. Oh, yeah, oh, this person, they need help, you know. Oh, here, they always come to me whenever they need help. That's the only time they ever come to me. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that fear of what they are expecting or what they might be expecting stop you from having the courage to do that, to go ahead and start implementing whatever plan you have to fix the relationship, to heal the relationship. All right, let's continue on. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say. We have the Page of Pentacles. I think for some of you, you've changed a lot recently, and that maybe you were the one that would always just show up and say, well, I need help, and that's the only time I'm gonna go contact grandma, or, you know, talk to mom, or, you know, talk to dad. And I think that there's been a big that you've grown up a lot. Yeah, there's been a big change internally of how you understand yourself and how you understand the world, and how you connect to your soul, or how you connect to your integrity. but there's still that fear that people won't recognize that they'll think that you're, you know, the same old person you were maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, 10 years ago. And this is where the courage is going to come in. You're going to have to initiate. You'll be the one to initiate the change. We have the 8 of Wands. Yes, movement. Let's get it going. Let's get it moving in the right direction. And we have the King of Wands. Also knowing how to approach it, being able to be flexible enough when you're dealing with this situation or this person, knowing when to push and when to pull, when to stand back, being agile, being flexible in how you approach them. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the King of Swords. Bringing clarity and balance to the situation and dealing with the other. We have the Page of Cups. We have pages. Well, 2 pages, I guess. Where the money doesn't matter. It's the emotion, it's the care, it's the love that you have. We have the Magician. And you know, you have the courage to get things into motion, to get things going, to act on your feelings, to act on working on this relationship, on this forgiveness aspect. And the 6 of Pentacles, really a nostalgia card. One of family, I see. It could be friendship too. I mean, we all have those friends that are just as important to us as family, right? And some friends are, you know, more important than blood family. They are your soul family, right? But it's that type of a relationship that I'm feeling here. And I do feel like this is a continuation of Pile 1's reading. Let's clear the air a little bit. I want to clear the air a little bit and see. This is for you. This is healing. We're helping release some of those fears. Some of the entrenched fears, entrenched expectations. I feel that's important. And ensure that you're grounded, centered. You know, ensure that you're able to be flexible, to go with the flow of how things are going to play out. I don't think this is going to be a one-time deal. This is not going to be a, oh, hey, I'm sorry for all that I've done in the past, or our bad relationship, or our misunderstandings, or whatnot. It's not going to be a one-time thing. It's going to be rebuilding trust also. But it's going to be definitely be worth it. You know, in Pile 1, I talked about they had the luck card, and I'm feeling that connection here. And I think that the flow, being able to speak your truth, speak what you're feeling, speak from your heart. And in this case, to mend the relationship. But that's going to change the flow of your life. I feel like it's a very this is a moment, this is a waypoint in your life where you're able to enact a change, and a very important change with another, with someone you have a soul contract with in this life. And that's going to release, I think, a lot of old karma for many of you that are watching this. And it's going to, like, it's like, literally, it's going to, like, open doors for you. As this relationship heals, as this is mended. And for some of you, this person has passed on already. And you're going to have to work this mending through meditation, through spiritual work. And that's where forgiving yourself is going to come in. But for others of you, this person is still here. But the forgiveness, working on that forgiveness and releasing that from your energy, releasing that from your energetic being. And I think for some of you, there's physical issues tied to this. Like literally not even like inflexibility within your body. But healing this, working on healing this, making a good effort, being courageous about it is going to it has a lot of things to teach you about balance, about integrity. Like that word just keeps coming up over and over. Integrity. But it's going to change the flow of your life. It's going to end up changing the flow of your life. If you go ahead and put this into action, it's going to change the flow of your life. It's going to change a lot of things. You'll notice it. You'll really begin to notice it. All right, let's get one more card for you today, pile 2. What can we expect, Spirit? What can we expect for pile 2? Strength. It will require strength. Take time to make clear decisions. Let me read this out loud. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. And I'm hearing bring patience also to the situation. Strength, patience, and courage. Rely on the wisdom that you've gained during this change in your life, this change in your understanding of the situation. Bring that wisdom. Many perspectives, many ways of looking at the situation. Let's see what else. Let's pull one more card. What card shall I? What deck shall I use? The Light Seers Tarot. We want to look for the light. I hear we want to look for the lightness in the situation. We have the Ten of Pentacles. And this is a great card to pull to end this reading. All good things for you, pile 2. All good things for you as you work on this. This will bring so much more to your life. So many good things to your life. If you have the courage to do this. All right, pile 2, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this made sense to you. I'm wondering if there's something else that if there's anything else from Spirit that I can share with you, but I think they're wrapping it up now. They're wrapping it up. Have courage, take action. Have courage, take action. It will change your life. It will change your life. It will change the path of your life. And it will bring peace to the other in this situation. I think it will bring a lot of peace to the other. And it will be the end of some type of karma for many of you. All right, pile 2. Thank you for spending this time with me. I really appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. If you're enjoying it, if you subscribe and enable notifications, you'll be notified next time I upload something to the channel. I know that it's been kind of slow the last 2 weeks. I got one out last week, and then it'll just be one this week. Just due to time constraints, I had some technical issues also. So hopefully next week we'll be back on target for 2 to 3 a week. We'll see. I'm going with the flow, trying to be flexible. Trying to forgive my computer for the issues that's been giving me this week. Alrighty. Well, I hope that this answers some questions. I hope that it provides a next step, a little bit of comfort as you embark on this quest of forgiveness. And I do hope to see you next week. All right, pile 2, sending you guys lots of love. Bye-bye. Okay there, pile 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with the apophyllite cluster. Oh, it's got some flashes in there of color. Prism. So beautiful. It's not capturing the full beauty of this crystal on the camera. It's beautiful. So light and airy, and really like energy flows with that one. And you pick the source, ocean source. And the theme of this reading has been, the readings so far have been healing through forgiveness. And there may be a little bit of this tied in here, and I think it's like the mother wound, or there being a generational healing that needs to happen. So let's see what your pile has today. What do the cards have, the spirit have for pile 3 today? Let's start with the oracle cards. What message do you have for pile 3 today, spirit? What message do you have today for pile 3, spirit? I think that's the one. What message do we have for pile 3 today, spirit? What message do you have? What do they need to know right now? What does pile 3 need to hear? What does pile 3 need to hear? What does pile 3 need to know? To our friends in pile 3 need to hear today, spirit. And we have some tea leaves. And something from the Lenormand deck. And this is from Labyrinthos. And I'm hearing finding our way back home, finding our way back to the source. As I pull that it's been a bit of a labyrinth, trying to find your way. All right, let's see what we have. Tarot. What message do you have for pile 3 today, spirit? Again, for this pile, lightness of being, bringing yourself into a lighter space. Space. Space is important. I'm going to leave that because I think this is having to do with freeing your mind, freeing your perspective, recognizing that you have the power to pull yourself back, to find your way back to source. All right, what else do you have? What else do you have for pile 3 today, Spirit? Oh, again, we got the Page of Swords. For some reason, I thought this bird didn't have an eye. I see it now. I've got my reading glasses on. I see it now, but running backwards, running back to what's familiar, instead of forging ahead with what you've learned. That's what I'm hearing. One more card here. Oh, they're all flying, flying off today. Let's pull that one. All right. I was telling pile 2, those in pile 2, that the energy has been, there's just been so much energy in the last, superfluous energy in the last day or so, day and a half. And I just feel like it might have to do with the new moon, but I just feel like there's a lot of this like high, ungrounded energy just kind of flowing around, and I've been clearing and grounding and grounding. But anyway, one or two more. One more card, pile 3, sorry. This is for pile 3. All right, so let's start with our oracle. We have the koi carp with abundance. Move with the flow of abundance around and through you. And this is very much a reading about flow, I think. I don't just think it. I feel it. I feel this movement. I feel this movement through these cards. For this pile, we have Wolf, Mastery, mastering the flow, mastering staying in the flow. We have Leo, Kingdom. I can never tell whether this line is grumpy or whether he's just tired. Grizzled old guy. Alright, and we have Reishi, which is retreat. Tied to retreat. It says retreat, and yet there's Jupiter there with it. For me, expansion. The sun, expansion. Interesting. Coming right up against Leo here. Move these guys down a bit. And we have responsibility. This is the right sacrum. Responsibility. And it looks like it's gold. It looks like it's, which ties in with the abundance. The abundance theme. Although, we've got the sun here, the Leo. That's also golden, right? Let's leave those. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull them. And we have for the tea leaf, harp, great happiness. Well, that kind of looks like a bit of a lion. Nah, it's a fish or dragon. I don't know. What do you guys think? The harp. The way that it flows, I'm gonna say fish. And the rider. I thought of the rune Rido, which also represents the rider. What that might tie in here somehow, we'll see as we go along here. For our tarot, we have strength. Ah, look at the lion right there. Strength and compassionate strength, right? Compassionate strength. We have the 5 of Swords. Who are you letting have power over you? Who are you letting... Actually, let's put it right here with this card here, the 8 of Swords, right? I feel that these two are very much connected. that you're letting a certain perspective just keep going round and round in your head. It's the voice that you're hearing in your head. But you can release that. You can release that voice there. I think that might be what's keeping you in you know, we're talking about the labyrinth. Where was it? It was on the back of one of these cards, right? Keeping you stuck in the labyrinth, unable to find your way out. But I think we're being called to feel flow, to find clarity in flow, to find clarity in going with the flow, in surrendering. You're not giving up your strength, you're just surrendering to the flow of energy right now. You don't want to run backwards to you don't want to run back to old ways of doing things. You don't want to go back in that direction. 5 of Wands. Yeah, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. It's the moments when you feel like you're being attacked, where you have to defend yourself. You feel like you have to get defensive, that it's difficult to be vulnerable in certain instances. But you've been working on it. I think that's evident here for me in this reading. This is something that you've been working on, but you still, when you have those moments, when you have those triggers, you kind of want to go back to an old way of doing things. The old way of doing things was defending yourself, creating this boundary around you that's keeping the flow of energy from going. That's what I'm feeling here. And we have the moon. Moon. What's being illuminated? What are you riding toward? These two here, these two cards here, I think that they represent how you're feeling right now, right? You want to go back to the comfort of doing things a certain way because that's what you know, and just continuing on into the unknown is feeling a bit overwhelming. Like you've probably been working this issue, this problem, this bit of shadow work for a while, and you're tired. I feel a tiredness here. I feel like you need some rest. And maybe that's why the Source card came up here. The Source card with, you know, like the mother holding her child, right? That instead of fighting the situation, instead of fighting this feeling of I gotta keep going, right? I gotta keep at it. I can't stop. Be kind to yourself. Take a little bit of time to have some rest. Relax, surrender into how things are going. I feel like you don't need to, I think you're feeling like you need to make a decision and you need to keep this movement going, but I'm really feeling like you can stop, take a breather, take a rest. It's still going to be there when you come back to it. This is life work. Shadow work is life work, right? Things we work on a long time. This is throwing you, like the constant go, go, go is going to throw you off balance. And this might be a message for others of you that are not dealing with maybe this particular situation and have found yourself here. But it's the go, go, go. The go, go, go to prove yourself. The go, go, go to try and bring in that abundance. But what's missing is this understanding that you can just stop, take a break, surrender to what's going on right now in your life, and just let the universe deal with it. Take your break. Go back to the source. Let the universe deal with it. Let the Great Mother deal with it. Be comforted in this moment where you take a step back. Where you take a step back, you don't move in any direction. You don't get defensive. You don't fall into old ways of doing things, of critical self-talk. Just relax into this moment. Surrender into this moment. Take a break. Take a moment. Just be. Don't push. No need to make any decisions. Just be for a little bit. And that's what this tension here in this card is. You know, when I said it says retreat, yet here's Jupiter and the Sun. But you can find that balance. There is a balance to be found in not always moving forward, not always pushing forward, not always running backward. There is a balance to be found within this tension. And that you can find it through surrender to the moment, to the situation, to letting go of the control, the controlling aspects that you might be exhibiting within the situation, and just let be. Let spirit deal with it. Take your rest. Take a breath. And maybe in that retreat, in that rest, in that moment of just, not fighting it, just going with the flow, just letting spirit guide you. Perhaps in that moment, the insight will come, right? Insight will come. A solution will be offered. Another opportunity will be given to you to maybe find an easier way of dealing whatever it is you're dealing with. And that's what I'm getting here. That's what I'm getting from these cards. Let's see if Spirit has anything else for you. A final message of, perhaps how you can surrender to this. I don't want to use this. Let's use this one. Actually, I might use both. Let's see. How can pile 3 surrender to it? So I have Spider, Dreamweaver. Oh, I like this card. Obviously, WeavingFate. I like anything that weaves. A Spider, a Dreamweaver. It says, tune into the energetic grids around you. Where can you send your energy for healing? Send it to Source. That's the answer right there. Send it to Source. When you're feeling worn out, you're feeling down and out, you're feeling like the work is too great, the work is too hard, don't fear that you're not being responsible. That came up, and it says responsibility, but always taking responsibility for everything, always taking responsibility for everything puts you off balance. It really puts you off balance, right? The happiness will come with learning how to balance, learning how to be comfortable in the tension, this tension of knowing when to retreat and when to expand, right? Send your energy to Spirit for healing. Take the time to do that. I think that's really important for you, especially for those of you in pile 3. And one final card, please, Spirit. Use your intuition. You know when it's needed. You know when it's needed. I think that you know that for many of you the time is now. But being comfortable with recognizing it, becoming more and more comfortable with recognizing when to let go and when to take hold. That's the goal here. That's the goal of this particular situation that you're coming to these cards for, or that Spirit is bringing to your attention right now, is you'll know when, right? You feel it. You've walked this path long enough that you know when you need, when you feel that friction. There's a certain friction that comes with this tension, right? You feel yourself, you feel that grinding against something else, right? You feel that energetic friction. Recognize it, take your break, go back to source, surrender it, give it back to source. Don't go back to old ways of doing things. Don't be so defensive that Spirit cannot help you, that you cannot feel that energy come in, that you've blocked yourself from accessing the healing that Spirit has for you. Let it flow. 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 And that's going to bring you the happiness. And it's going to bring you the balance. And it's going to bring you more knowledge and more wisdom of how to move more comfortably in the world, how to move with more flow, right? Instead of running into things all the time. Maybe that's a thing for some of you, maybe not. But instead of always feeling like you're running up against an obstacle or a block, surrender, and then the flow comes back in, right? Surrender to letting Spirit take over. All right, and that's what I have for you today. I hope that made some sense. Hope that made sense to you. If you enjoyed the reading, please give a like or subscribe to the channel. That lets me know, or leave a comment that lets me know whether you've enjoyed it or not, or whether you've gotten any guidance or comfort out of the readings. I really do appreciate the time you're spending here with me. I really enjoy this. This is something that I just love to do. It's slowly getting better. The speaking part is slowly getting easier. There's a bit more flow to it. It just takes practice, right? It takes practice just going with the flow, surrendering that control to Spirit, and just letting the universe take control of the situation. And that's what I'm trying to do in the readings, is just letting, removing that obstacle that I have in the throat chakra, and just letting Spirit flow through me, and then letting it channel right through me, instead of having to type it out, which I usually do. I love to do readings, and I love to type out my readings. I do feel that is where my gift truly lies, but this is something that was brought up to me by my own spirit guides that I should work on, so that I can also share with the world that you don't have to come in and buy a reading all the time. You can find your way here and get a message. I am a messenger from the source. That's kind of how I see it. I'm a messenger of the divine, and that's my role here. All right, so pile 3, thanks so much for joining me again, and I hope to see you next time. Alrighty, have a great day. Bye-bye.